I'm Andrew from Dairy Food Safety Victoria. We're the regulatory body that looks after the dairy industry and manages from a food safety perspective. Look after the 200 farms and 200 manufacturers and 4,000 farms. And yeah, we've got auditors out in the field, out and about. So yeah, I provide there on the BI, on the Information Systems Manager. That provides all the services to support those guys doing their role. Yeah, it was some of the work started before I came on board, and the organisation realised that they were capturing a whole lot of information, but doing nothing with it, or doing very little with it, doing the basic sort of stuff about whether they're ticking the boxes and stuff. They realised that they actually had a wealth of information there, but weren't doing anything sort of really meaningful and sort of to help them improve their business. So they realised the need of a business intelligence environment. And so I came on board, and we certainly looked at a range of options to how we were going to meet the need of presenting the information back to the business, to turning that data into information, and not just graphs, but really sort of adding the value. And I suppose that's where Yellowfin really, without trying to pump it up too much, it really stood out in that visualisation space, where we can convert what's sort of fairly innocuous or pretty boring data to something that they're going, oh, that really makes sense from a business perspective, or that really either confirms my assumptions, or I really couldn't get access to that information sort of that quickly. We record a range of data sets around licensing information. We license entities in Victoria, farms and manufacturers. So there's that normal sort of CRM, license renewal activity. We also run a couple of science programs, so where we're getting product samples and getting them tested and getting some scientific results back. We're also capturing a range of auditing activities and results from a lot of auditing tasks that we do. And that's to support a whole lot of certification activities for overseas markets, things like that. So it's not a huge range, but there's certainly interesting kind of aspects of the business that we needed to understand. If the business is growing, or the dairy industry is going, how are we going to manage and monitor that support in that area? How do we understand emerging issues, and how does that correlate to how our licensees are being impacted by some of those emerging issues in the science field? So if we're looking at various pathogens in the market, how can we look at all the information that we're capturing from all the testing that we're doing, and then present that back as a broad or a scorecarding, so that so manufacturers can see how they perform against other manufacturers. So that's probably been the key. They're probably the three key areas. Certainly there's others in the normal organisational sort of activities, whether it's finance, some operational support activities, but from a business, they're probably the three main areas that we're really targeting for Yellowfin. We did look at a number of products, and I certainly have a background in all the main ones, the bigger ones, the sort of the larger commercial kind of ones. Certainly one of the things was probably the easy entry point into Yellowfin was certainly a good way to, or a sort of one of the key things for us. We kind of knew as a business that we wanted to get into BO. We needed to get that value out of the information, but we needed to deliver it sort of fairly quickly, so that we could sort of capture the momentum of the business, to keep them engaged, to go. They can, and the way we were able to use Yellowfin was to be able to implement some small or a range of smaller kind of areas across the business as a proof of concept, and we could do that fairly quickly without a large investment. Certainly, we had to do some investing in the setting up of the data warehouse, but you've got to do that with any product, pretty much. But to have that sort of layer on top of that real presentation layer, Yellowfin stood out from taking the data warehouse and presenting the information back very quickly. Certainly as an ease of entry point from a cost point of view, but also as an ease of setup. So they were probably the two drivers for us initially, and that's sort of it's proven its worth, where we've been able to capture the attention of our business users. They can just see the data quickly and go, oh, that's our data right there. By far and away, it's been the mapping software. That's certainly, I mean, most tools can provide, and I've seen provide quite easily, the normal graphs about performance and, you know, reading back your information and or whether it's analytics or all that sort of stuff. The greatest really kind of impact on our business has been that being able to visualise our customer base or our licensee base on a map, so they can look at it and just go, oh, that's our data, that's where all our customers are, or that's where our licensees are. And that's not just helped us with just understanding where our existing players are. It's certainly helped us in an emergency management situation where we're a safety regulator or a government regulator. So to be reactive, to go, oh, there's been an incident at a certain location, where are all our customers that are in a 20k radius of that? We can do that within seconds, rather than someone goes away and looks up postcodes or something like that, some other way of doing it. That's certainly been a really big visual impact for the business, where they've gone, oh, that's, you know, that was just the power of the information right there.